CPU only 5%. It should be fine. My FPS is 30 as well. So we'll try it out. But anyway, a good day to everyone. I'm gonna try and do a Giga stream today. I'm not sure how long my laptop's gonna last, so just put in the chat if you can't hear what I said, and I'll try and repeat it, and I'll try and specify what numbers I'm saying the best that I can. You wouldn't think I actually missed home right now, but when I stream, I do miss home because I like streaming a lot. But let's have a look at some of the weeklies. Have I got a fresh chart? So Bitcoin weekly, where obviously, let's just take these off for now. I would like a spare chart, good sir. So, really good weekly close on Bitcoin. We are at resistance. We're at the macro top resistance. But as you can see on the oscillator, we've actually hit and bull dived on the weekly. So I think this has got a really good chance of potentially breaking out to a new high. Maybe just not right now, as we are kind of overextended on the daily. That doesn't mean it can't happen, but this is also starting to bearishly div. As you can see right here. I'm just going to check the chat quickly. Let me know, is it okay? Because I can see someone typing. Yeah, it isn't glitching. That was before. Because I am streaming and recording. It sounds fine. Okay, good. Perfect. Perfect. So, like I was saying, we are starting to bearishly div on the daily time frame on Bitcoin. So that paired with the amount of liquidity there is, I know there's a ton of liquidity, sort of like 94k down to 90k. So back down in here, just in this zone. I think it's obviously likely that we could see a retest, but I don't want to short yet because I'm shorting into major strength, and yeah, I would like to see some sort of breakdowns and then a retest in between 95 and 90k. To be fair, I don't really want us to lose sort of 92k or even, to be honest, even 93k. But yeah, I think we could do with a nice healthy retest. But as you guys will know, if you look at the long to short ratio, it's still heavily short. So there's definitely potential that we could see a break, and I know that there is enough liquidity to take us to sort of like 115, 120 before maybe the majority of the market flips short. Sorry, long. If we do start gaining these highs, I would like to see sort of a gain and then a bullish back test to potentially long. Right now, we're kind of in that weird sort of area where we're up at all-time high resistance, but you can't really short this yet because there's no weakness. So you don't really want to long into like all-time high resistance, but you also, sorry, you don't want to short into all-time high resistance, but you also don't really want to long it just yet because we're obviously at all-time high resistance. So I think it's just time to be a little bit patient and maybe focus on some alts that are going to potentially do moves before Bitcoin does anything. Because Bitcoin could potentially, in the best case scenario, just go sideways in between sort of like 102k, which I know there is some local liquidity. If you just go onto like CoinGlass or CoinAnk, there's some local liquidity down at 102k that could definitely be taken before going for a next leg up. But yeah, it looks really good, and if we do start sort of like breaking down 102k, then you can short this and then target sort of 95, 94, 93, that sort of area to potentially long again. But we actually haven't really checked the totals in a while. Yeah, so we've gained the all-time high swing again, and we actually held the 618, which is super giga bullish. I thought we were going to come down into the 786 and then bounce, but yeah, it just seems to be fine. We've obviously hidden bull dived as well on the weekly time frame. So yeah, just potentially, just in general, it's looking really good. The altcoin market did do the 786 retrace, and that is now at an area of resistance to potentially gain on the weekly. So yeah, that's also looking largely decent, and we have got a couple daily candles that are trying to poke their head out, which yeah, again, we're kind of in that weird zone where we're up at resistance and we're kind of waiting for either a break and a retest or a breakdown and then a bearish retest to short. So I'm I'm not really taking any like massive positions right now. Maybe just like nibbling at the lower time frames, and then we'll see what happens. You know, into like Tuesday when we get the higher, the more of the liquidity. Bitcoin Dom, yeah, this is looking pretty decent. We are at support at the moment, but we've obviously done the trend change down on the daily, which is really good. Um, Dropping pretty heavy, and I think this could go and see sort of like 61%, so we could see a little bit more of an alt run. And hopefully Bitcoin goes sideways, and then we get like a nice little pumpy pump to the upside. When you say it's overextended, would you expect it to go back and hit a fair value gap? Yeah, I mean, we're in this really weird part of the market where we've left so many gaps to the downside. If you go on the daily time frame, you'll see that there's literally fair value gaps. To be honest, all the way down to 85k, and there's also major liquidity in the sort of like 90 to 94k region. So because we're at all-time high resistance, I don't want to long all-time high resistance, but you also can't really short it just yet because we're in such a heavy uptrend and there is more shorts in the market. So obviously, if you're on the 15-minute and the 5-minute, like you can scalp and do that sort of stuff. But in terms of like taking larger swing positions, it's actually a really bad place to try and take a larger swing position because I'll show you. I'll show you on ETH. We'll look at ETH on the daily. So ETH on the daily, we're actually caught in between the Q4 and sort of like the weekly November, or both of these levels. Um, this would obviously be an area where potentially you would look for a pullback, as because we're really overextended on the oscillator. Um, but you obviously just, I don't want to short it without seeing an actual breakdown, and that would be sort of like a breakdown of the weekly open first. So I think that would sort of be like, yeah, like a breakdown of this, sort of like break underneath and then retest bearishly here. Then I would be more willing to short it. Right now, I'm not looking to get away in this. On the other side, if you're looking to long this, you're longing into resistance. What you want to see is a pop into here and then a bullish backtest like that, and then you long that area. It's just we're just in that weird area where it's just really awkward to try and take some sort of swing position because what could also happen is you could just get this giga candle like this because there's going to be so much volume or possibly some news that literally just goes like that and takes everything out, and then we get either the move to the downside or the move to the upside depending on the close. Um, but yeah, I think like if for me to long ETH, I would want to see it hit that and then bullishly backtest the Q4 on the weekly, and then to short ETH, like I said, a break below and then a bearish backtest of this whole box, and then we can talk about sort of like longing 2.2k or sort of like this area, and then obviously the fair value gap down here, which we might not even get to because it's a super bullish market. But yeah, if we do get that breakdown, I'll be looking at sort of 2.2 March to like 2.1, just that sort of area potentially to long. And then obviously the Q2, if we did get down there, then yeah. Again, so Solana is actually gaining above, which is really nice to see on the daily time frame. I potentially think this whole area is good to long, um, because we haven't broken down on the 4-hour yet, and we are hidden bull diving, which means a continuation. Um, Obviously, we're super overextended, but this actually doesn't look that bad at all. And if I just check the Sol Dom chart, the Sol Dominance chart actually looks really good. It kind of looks like it's just peaking over this this previous high right there. Oh, that's a horrible drawing. I'm lagging a little bit. So potentially I think Sol could maybe have a little rip after ETH. Obviously ETH's had its rip first. So that's actually something that I'm actually maybe interested in more than anything else. It would have been nice to catch this on Sunday night. Well, wherever you guys are, it's probably Sunday morning, but yeah. Nice little range as well. So if you're into like range trading, we've obviously got the high range here and the low range here in November, where potentially you could just scalp it out. If I take those off and I take the brush off, I just drew here and here, sort of like in between those two zones, where you could basically short this zone, which I obviously with a tight stop, and then longs this zone, and then take profit on either side, and then just wait for a break, which might be nice. But again, I don't really want to short anything until I see like a confirmed breakdown on the 4 hour, because the long to short ratio is still more shorts in the market. So I don't wanna get in the way of it. We're super bullish as well. Like, it's looking really good. Look at Popcat. Damn, Popcat's doing really well. So yeah, a little update on the hype trade. Uh, which has just gained its yearly open. Damn, it's looking really good. So I accumulated my hype long in between sort of 19 and $16 or something. Actually, it was a little bit lower, and I bought down on this area with like an average entry of like 16, and I was down. I was down pretty bad in this area, but because I was on 3x cross, I was managed to hold it. And as soon as we did this gain, I think we talked about this at the start of last week or the end of the week before or something. As soon as we did this gain of this little high from the end of March, this was very, very good to go. Um, Again, we're at resistance. We're at sort of swing high resistance, nearly. So potentially not really a good area to long. But yeah, I've sold off 75% of my trade now, in between 24 and 26, because yeah, I'm in really good profit, and I was down really bad on that as well. Same sort of things happen with Tia, which I'll talk about in a sec. So on hype, let's just sort of get some of these levels and look at the 12 hour. On hype, to be honest, I don't want to short this right now. It looks really good. We've gained the yearly, and we've bullishly backtested this. So the way I would look to short this is if we fail the high again, sort of there, and then yeah. But anyway, I'm not looking to short. I'm not looking to short at all. It would have to be a confirmed break of the yearly open, and then a bearish backtest of the weekly or something like that, and then yeah, we could possibly talk about taking it down to $20. But again, we're in that really weird spot where we're up at like heavy resistance, like high time frame resistance, but also you can't short yet because we haven't really had any confirmed breakdowns. You could potentially call this 4 hour close, this one, a breakdown for a Stuba, but yeah, it's just how much is this going to net you realistically? We're holding above the yearly open. Yeah, it's not the worst, but it's also not the best. Yeah, and you could easily get wicked out on that. So again, not really looking too much into that. So yeah, this morning, because I'm in the Asia time zone, it must have been around 10 a.m. I saw the bullish backtest of this daily weekly open on Dodge, and I actually market smashed a tiny one in. So it's nothing too crazy. So I am in a Dodge long, and we'll see if this 4 hour closes above here, and then you could potentially breakout trade this, which I don't really recommend. But if we were to get a 4 hour close above 0.25, then it would be looking potentially very good for you to break out along this. And the same thing will happen with H bar. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, so the same thing happened with H bar, where I saw us regain the daily weekly open, this one here, and just backtest it really quickly. So I market smash something along there, and now we're above March. So potentially, if you came back down and retested March, you could maybe long that and then have like a low time frame stop around, yeah, sort of 2125 maybe. Maybe. I don't think it looks too bad. But yeah, you want to see this daily close above March for actually confirmed trend change. So yeah, and if it were to do that, we're going to go and see yearly open retest, which is why I'm quite interested in this, because there's literally nothing in the way from here to here on the daily. Literally nothing in the way. So it's going to go and just rip that if we do the gain on the daily. So definitely watch the daily closes tonight. I'll probably be asleep, but actually, it might be 8 a.m. here. But yeah, this is definitely something to watch out for. I'm just going to check the chat quickly. Sorry, I only have Popcat look at with today. Yeah, I will. We're gonna get onto it. We're gonna get onto it. Popcat's going crazy, bro. It's absolutely going nuts. Um, yeah, I only have one screen, so bear with me today. I mean, while I'm here in the Asia time zone. But yeah, Popcat's doing really well. Whiff's doing really well as well. We'll be morning Jack for the close, just like Oz. Yeah, I'm in. I think I'm in Hong Kong time zone. I'm not sure. I'm Bangkok +1, so I might be a similar time zone to you. 7:20. Oh no, you're 2 hours ahead of me. It's 5:20 for me. So you're in like Tokyo. But yeah, I might be able to catch it in the morning if I wake up. But yeah, definitely watch this daily close on H bar, because if it does gain that on the daily, this is gonna moon. And like I said, there's nothing in the way. It does look to be posturing up as well, and also bull diving on the 4 hour. Yeah, we actually haven't looked at ETH Bitcoin as well, which has finally done the gain of this. Damn, we've actually gained something really nice. And we've also bullishly backtested it on Sunday's candle. So we'll have a weekly close above that, or potentially actually above this. So yeah, I think we're gonna like nicely see the alt rotation as long as we stay above sort of like 2-4, and more so the weekly. But yeah, I would like to see this bounce around for like a day or maybe a couple of days and then break out and not lose any levels, which would be really nice for alts. And then Bitcoin can just go sideways for a bit. Yes. So Popcat. uh, this thing is so funny. I love this thing so much. I'm happy that it's starting to be talked about a bit more in the server. So yeah, again, I'm just going to echo most of the sentiment on altcoin is that we're at high time for a resistance, and we're also completely overcooked on the daily oscillator. This is also bearishly diving, so it's not an area that you want to long. Conversely, you can't short this yet because there's no sign of a breakdown. You'd want to go to the hourly or the 4 hour to see sort of less like us break a level before you want to short this, but I'm just not looking for any shorts at the moment. I'm looking to long potentially lower or see daily or 4 hour closes above the resistance that we're at, and then I'll break out long it. But I'm not a big breakout longer. I just don't really like doing it because you can just get absolutely shafted. One sec, let me just take off my jumper. Getting a bit hot. But yeah, this is really good to trade on sort of like 15-minute, 3-minute time frames, and you'll find that it respects swings quite nicely, especially when it's in a hard uptrend. So, for example, we had a nice little swing here, which bullishly backtested the September open. So what you have is you have a zone here that you can long, and a zone here potentially that is just a level when you see that we come back down and bullishly backtest the previous high. So long, breakout up to resistance, back down, long the previous level, back up, and it's giving really good swings. So, for example, this one was 14% in an hour and a half. 1 hour and a half. But obviously, don't use anything above, like, if you're using 5x, it's almost too much. And then a subsequent 9% dump in the next 30 minutes. So this might be something that I'm looking to, like, intraday trade if I'm doing nothing. And yeah, you can get your fibs on, and you can get your bands on and stuff like that, and you'll have a lot of fun. But I only trade it on 3x personally, and I try to keep the risk heavily down because it can mash you up. It can mash you up big time. But yeah, very simple trading. Like, you can see it. You can literally see it all the way through this chart. Low. Let me zoom in. Low. Break above. Bullish back test. This is probably a steer as well. Again, break above, bullish back test. Break above, bullish back test. That maybe would have stopped you out, but you could have relonged it on the regain. And then yeah, it's just the dream, isn't it? It's just the dream. But yeah, all in all, like, the market, you would expect it to maybe have a pullback. It just depends on how many people are going to short this high. If we start to see the long short flip to long, then I think we'll see a pullback. But if we keep seeing the shorts coming in, it's just not going to stop, is it? And then we're going to do a really hard dump after we break out of the all-time high. Let me just check the chat quickly, make sure everything's okay. I'm so happy that the internet's working. I'm late to the party. Yeah, I'm doing my streams a little bit earlier just because it's nicer for me in the time zone that I'm in, and also I can do a little bit longer. So yeah, we can actually, like, spend time to talk about a lot of charts, and then yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. So I could also just comb through the 3 minute, and we could maybe try and take a little scalp on the stream, but I'll start doing that for every chart that we're on. Yeah, so like on ETH, let's have a look at this. Hitting resistance, nice little area to potentially long in this bit because it's untested. So if this was going to break out, I'm not sure if it would do it on the first time. As you can see, we've had a really big wick up on this candle, and we've closed below the Q4, and we've actually closed below this swing at 2580. So I think if it were to come back down to 25, that's 2520 and 25, this could go maybe a little bit lower to like 2500. You could potentially long that. And let's see the stop. Yeah, with like a 1.5% stop. I think that's a worthy trade to take, and a little bit nicer. And then yeah, if you see the 4 hour close below 2500, potentially just sack the trade off, and then maybe you could short it on a bearish retest higher. But yeah, again, hidden bull div on the 4 hour potentially means continuation. However, we are very overextended on the Q4. I need to start deleting some of this stuff really badly. Again, like, we're obviously at high time frame resistance on the daily. We're underside retesting this order block as well. So it's an area that you need to be careful in when you're taking new trades. But, if we hold weekly open and we hold that November, there's no reason why this can't keep going, as we have gained it. So yeah, that's definitely one to keep my eye on because the risk is also quite nice. So if we like wick down, get stopped out, and regain, the 4 hour doesn't close below, then I'll relong it. If it does, if the 4 hour does close below, and then we come back up and bearishly retest it, or bearishly retest the Q4 again, then you could potentially short it. Like I said, because that would be the confirmed breakdown. But yeah, we're just gonna be patient. So ETH, that was ETH Sol. I'm trying to remember so I can actually do a post for everyone after. Also, put your tickets in the chat now, and then I'll have a look after I've just finished running through through a few things. Damn, this is going crazy. Going super duper crazy. Not really a whole lot to say on this chart. It just looks super bullish. Again, maybe a potential area to long is the February, in between the February and the weekly. But it has already been tested, so just watch out. I would quite like it though, because it would mean we've gained this swing on the 1 hour and the 15 minute. And could potentially just farm out some structure in between June and the weekly open for a little bit. So if you're scalping, you can slap the bands on and then see if this comes back into the band. You could maybe like really unriskily take a short, because the stop could be like, actually that's a crate. Whoa, this thing's doing naughty things. Nah, actually don't do that. Don't do that. It's swinging a bit too much. It's swinging way too much actually. So you got to be careful with these like meme coins, man. They can really, really do you in with the slippage as well if you're on high leverage. Like if you're trading above 5x and it wicks down and you think your stop is at like 10%, no, your stop's going to be like 15, 16% because the slippage is so high. Which is why you should probably use like 3x. Yeah, another thing I was looking at actually is Sui, which has gained its yearly open. So again, you want to see a daily close in between here, above here, and we are in the combination band, so it's not something that you want to take like just blindly like long this right now. You want to see the confirmed close and you want to see the break, but it could be looking really good. It could be looking really good, especially if we get the back test of this area like that. It could be looking potentially very good. Hidden bull, yeah. You want to see where the daily close is really. Oh, what's happening? Yeah, you want to see that daily close above there. This is also bear doing on the daily, but it doesn't mean that it has to stop just yet. And yeah, so if you get the sort of like breakout and the retest, then this is going to go up to like $5 quick. Extremely quick. And it's sort of the same thing with H-bar. Yeah, and then also we do have a fair value gap, which is about $3.50. So if we do not get the daily close above, and then you get a 4 hour close below, let's say, let's call it like 393. So you get basically something like this, which closes below here, and then you can short that, or you can get your Stuber out and short even a little bit higher. I'm drawing with my brush really badly today. But yeah, it looks interesting. I know they've got a lot of hype because they're doing some sort of partnership with like Pokemon. There's going to be like a official Pokemon coin, and Pokemon's massive. Like globally, Pokemon as a brand, massive. So it's getting a lot of hype and a lot of buzz at the moment. I'm just going to check the chat again, make sure it's all good. Yes, can we do that now, please? What did I say? A116Z Griffin near Brett Phantom. Take a scalp. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I don't want to just like ape the market, especially on a Monday. It'll probably be a little bit better on Tuesday. I am going to set an alert for this yearly on Sui right now. Well, actually, let's put it in this demand zone. Let's put it like 413. And we'll see if that gets hit in the session because it looks like it's coming down a little bit. But yeah, I'm not really sure because that could come all the way down to the weekly. That could come all the way down to 402 as well. So, let's have a look at Injective, which has been breaking out heavy. So the level to break was about $10.60, which was resistance twice on the 26th of April and again on the 1st, 2nd of May. We've obviously got a fair value gap down there now. We're sort of nearing resistance in between 16 and 17, and we also have this little hip at 14.3. But yeah, it looks really good. It's going for the stars. Again, there's not really a lot you can do on this, apart from if it bullishly back tests March / the daily weekly open. So as you can see, like we've obviously got a lot of overlapping demand. Guys, I'm not even hungover. Why am I bugging out today? So yeah, that might be an area that is interesting to long. We also got the combination band there. Yeah, nice. So what you can do is we can just set an alert. Let's do it like 13.3. Let's just do it like around here, and we'll see what happens if we come down into that. Just out of interest, what's this range in between there and there? It's a bit more than I would like it to be. Oh, I'm lagging. Yeah. Potentially not a good long on March because you could see this come all the way down to like 13.2, 13.1 and then do like a nasty wick and then a regain. So we'll try to catch that a little bit lower. Whoa. Calm down, charts. But yeah, we'll wait for that to come as well because we don't want to jump the gun. Oh, I haven't even talked about tier as well. Where are my tier holders in here? So, very famous trade on tier, this one, because a lot of the community were in the same trade. Well, we bought a bunch or longed a bunch sort of like around here, expecting this was like what $4 in between 5 and 450, expecting the alt season to come. And then we just like did it off a cliff. So I was in this like really underwater position all the way down here. And then actually last week on stream I said this is looking really good to buy down here because we're in the Stuber pocket and we're also just at all-time lows on tier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to average down my price, which at the time was about maybe $4 something, like pretty high. Like I was down really bad on this trade. I had a lot of margin in it and I was down like 70%, kind of like sweating at one point. But I said, yeah, I'm gonna like average down my position here because we're bull diving and we're at the low and we're also in the 786 to 886 pocket. And I managed to get my entry price down to like $3, 3.1. So I'm actually in profit on this trade, and I'm gonna just set the stop to break even, which will be about $3. Yeah. I wonder if has anyone else like managed to save their tier trade? Because I know some of the community was in on that as well from Will's call, and some of us also didn't run a stop loss. We just ran it on 3x. But yeah, happy days on that. I managed to save myself some margin. As of right now, obviously still above the daily weekly open, still up until proven otherwise. If we do start getting a breakdown, again, I just want to reiterate that maybe shorts should be banned at the moment, unless you're scalping like real low time frame, because we're probably just gonna get a really nice alt rotation in the next like two weeks, and then maybe get a pullback. But we'll have to see. I'm not really looking to short. I'm just looking to long pullbacks. Looking to long some pullbacks. Yeah, render also looks actually really good. We're underside retesting this swing about 5835. Sorry, what was that? 5.85 is the top, and where we are right now, 5.48 is the bottom. I might as well just mark it out for you guys. It's just why my charts are so messy, because I have too many things on it. So yeah, we're hitting the bottom of it right now on the daily, and then I'll just take it off just to make it nice and clean. But yeah, it still looks relatively good, and damn, look at my alert. Whoops, no brush, please. Had an alert set there, and it didn't trigger. What? So this is actually something that's a little bit more interesting, because I think that daily weekly open is not really tested that well. We obviously have the initial one really bad, really quickly, not bad. But yeah, this is potentially something that you could long on the hold of it. So like nice wick up to the upside, hit the swing, sort of like squeeze up, come back down, maybe get a nasty wick and then regain, and then bang, breakout, next level. See you later. Here we go. Yeah, looking really good. I like render. Render, FET, Tau. My Tau bag's nice. I think I'm gonna do really well. I always reiterate it, but just because of the AI thing and the chips they're making in the chip, they're gonna start making chips in America and stuff like that. I think it's just gonna drive the whole that whole narrative space, which is really easy. Very easy. Last but not least, yeah, there was a couple nice Stuba retraces on AVAX and Link. Personally, I actually didn't take them because I wasn't really trading that much last week. I was kind of moving around a lot in Malaysia, and I just didn't have the best Wi-Fi. It was just really annoying, and I hate trading on the phone. It's really not that nice. But yeah, we had a couple nice sort of like areas to long here, which have done really well. Currently, we look like we're gaining this, but I wouldn't be really so quick to long this. Let's just see. Yeah. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. Bang comes in down there. Let's take these off. You don't really want to get a close below. I guess it's just that, really. 24.3. You don't really want to close below that. Actually, let's have a look at the 4 hour. Let's say, yeah, 24.3. But you'd like to see it hold in November in the daily weekly. Just out of interest, can someone check the long to short ratio and put it in the chat? Because I don't want to open my Chrome just because my laptop's going to overload. But yeah, the same thing happened on Link, where we had a nice pullback, bang, regain long, huge, major pump off. This is looking slightly maybe more attractive to long off the daily weekly open. Let's turn these on. I would like to look at like liquidations and stuff, but I just really don't want to toast my laptop on this Wi-Fi. So yeah, look, this is nice because you got the daily weekly open there, and then you got overlapping support just below with the combination band going straight now. So this one's going to go straight across there. So this is looking not too bad. Again, can just set an alert on it and just wait and see what happens. $17.1-ish. 17.1-ish, and yeah, I think that's pretty good. Managed to ramble through quite a lot. I'll have a look at some of the stuff that you guys are putting in the chat now. So, Popcat, look at WIF. Yeah, let's look at WIF. WIF USDT. .p. Damn. Very nice. Very, very nice. Super nice stuff. First target 148, 150-ish, and then the big one is going to be like 182 to 195, that sort of area. Damn, this thing's really just absolutely mooning. This is another one that's quite good to scalp on the 15-minute or the 3-minute. So yeah, February untested level at the moment was resistance here. So now, if we come back down, hold it, 1 hour, 4 hour close above, you could potentially long that with a stop, of course. And I like that the 15-minute bands are there. So let me just look at the 3-minute. Yeah. Yeah, it's alright. Set an alert. Set an alert. I wish I had some music in the background. Your screen is frozen on render. It did this last time, actually. It did exactly this on last time. Can you hear my voice, though? I think this is a Discord thing. Yes. I thought it was just me. Okay. 1 second. All I did was... oh, okay. 1 second. I did this last time. All I gotta do is stop and then reshare it. Yeah? Yeah, perfect. Thank you. It's just a bit dodgy, man. My laptop's like, it's brand new, and then I'm on Wi-Fi, and it's just a bit dodgy. But yeah, I just set an alert on WIF for the February level to see if we can hold it. That 15-minute combination band's coming in down there as well, which is quite nice. Back to the list. So AI16Z, Griffin near Brett, Phantom. Okay, nice. Nothing that I've looked at already, which is nice. I think I got all of them. Where are they? AI16Z. This is probably mooning, isn't it? Yeah. Fuck. My laptop's lagging. Yeah, this is our resistance. Why is that there? Wait, let me. That's probably a 4-hour swing, isn't it? Let me just check. Don't really need that actually. Well, it's such a struggle to do this without good internet and my monitor. Let's just delete that because March. Yeah, again, at resistance, you want to see a pop to here, and then a bullish backtest of March to long this here. You just like the alerts that I've set, by the way, in this past stream, they're not swing trades, they're scalp trades. So low risk, low port size, 5x lev, just a little bit here, take profit quickly, stop to break even. It's not like we're gonna hold this for a couple weeks and it's gonna break out to new all-time highs because we're at high time frame resistance on almost everything. It's just potentially to continue. Um, this doesn't look bad. Actually, it looks quite good. Looks quite good. Uh, Tested here. Daily, weekly, untested on this so far. Yeah, and the 4-hour comes in here. So let's actually just move that to the 4-hour. There is a potential swing position on this. Yeah, for sure. And that would be a long from there. Just out of interest, what is... Yeah, long 618, and if not, long that pocket. So let's see where the bands come in. The bands come in a little bit lower. I would like to see the reaction around this area, because things like this can swing really far. They can like do that and then do that and then do regain and go like stupid stuff like that. But it's worth setting an alert on that daily weekly open, because if we do hold that, one, it's untested, and two, it looks really good on the 4-hour because that's also the top swing there, and this is already tested. So something like, again, another, it doesn't get through, comes back down into this, like maybe messes around a bit and then fucking goes. Definitely worth setting an alert on it just to monitor the price action down there. Please stop lagging. Is everything okay on the stream? I think it is. It's fine. Griffin near Brett, Phantom. I need to jump out. See you later, bro. Have a good one. Griffin near. Okay, yeah. So Griffin, another one that I just have my spot bag on. Seems to be moving really nicely at the moment. Again, I would highly recommend you not to leverage trade this because it's just really, really rough. It's just gonna stop you out a lot. Um, yeah, this is just gonna go. This is going. There's not really too much to say on this. If you were to come back down again, it's going to be quite similar to a lot of stuff. If this comes back down here now and then holds the swing, holds like this, you could potentially long. But then again, if you're on leverage, for example, you could wick all the way down to the bottom of this channel and then do the breakout. So just be careful with your leverage. Like, look, this is a 7-8% wick or candle that you could be a false breakdown. Worth setting a alert on though. Near. Yeah, I haven't looked at near. Oh, everything's so overextended, but it just looks good because we gained March and we're above the daily weekly open. And we're just going to get some dirty tariff news. Look, this was also a nice, good little Stuber pullback on the 4 hour. New high from here. I guess it wouldn't be classed as a Stuber, but new high, pullback into the zone, bang, moonship off, straight through resistance. Bullishly back tested March already. I don't like this. I don't like this though. This and then the wick, the liquidity wick there. I don't like that. That usually means like we're gonna see a little retrace. But it could definitely hold like weekly opener March for sure. Sort of the area between 1314 and 306 ish. This area here. And if not, like we've got so many levels that you could potentially retest lower. So if we break that and then bearishly retest that, where are we going? We're gonna go here. And then again, maybe get a bounce, maybe go down a little bit further. We've got another swing here. It's just there's so many areas to long on the way down. But in terms of this, in terms of this, looks pretty decent. Actually looks genuinely quite good. 30, what's that? 302 to the March level, 306 might be good for like a wick into it. And then a close, as long as the 4 hour candle closes above March, it'll be quite good. Did anyone check the long to short? Buy cycle, nice to see you. To see you, nice. Only trade Griffin on 20x, yeah. Because 100x instant liquidation, bro. I presume we'll need to see how Bitcoin DOM does at support to maybe gauge pullbacks on alts. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think we were talking about Bitcoin DOM just briefly before, and it is at support, so we could see a little bit of a bounce on the dominance. But then again, hold on. We're literally right on the level, like. But even if we do see a little like bounce, so for example, this closes below, it bull divs like this. We come back up, we bearishly retest the daily week open, and we just go again. It's gonna go here. So it's not really gonna be like a significant, like, oh, we're gonna start uptrending back up here. Like we could, but I'm not counting on it. You are right though. It could be time to be a little bit cautious, but I think people are pretty happy, pretty excited about alts. Maybe they just keep going while Bitcoin goes sideways. What is Bitcoin doing, by the way? Like, ideally, we just want it to go like this. Oh, little wick. Oh no, regain. And then just start posturing up. Little poke, you know. And then alts are going to go ballistic. You're going to see like 20, like rotations. You're going to see like gaming's going to pump 40% this day, and then this sector's going to pump 20% the next day, and then yeah, after a couple of weeks, then it'll be over. Just until we lose, like if we start losing, I mean we got nice support. Where's the 4 hour? I mean, you kind of have to lose February because on CoinAnk there's a nice liquidity at 102k, so I could see them doing the wick, take the liquidity and then the regain. Because hopefully, if we do a nasty wick and like do a close below, people just short that, thinking, oh, now it's over. Like they've been shorting all the way up, and now they're finally gonna get their short, and then we just do the regain and go. They never learn though, do they? What was the next one? And also, I don't think we finished near. Let's have a look at it on the lower time frame as well. Yeah, double test on the daily, weekly, overlapping support. That would have been a nice. That would have been a nice long this morning if I was looking at this. Again, come hit the swing. Again, just a potential area to long in here. You don't want to see a close below, arguably, the level that I have on right here. That's what kind. Where is this from? This is a daily swing low all the way back from February, start of Feb. This actually looks quite nice though. I like that. I like that. The March, the daily, weekly, and that swing that I've got on from all the way back in February are very close together, and we've gained it. So if we can just hold that, it's gonna go further. So I quite like that. This is probably quite a nice one. So if Sol near. Okay, I'm gonna remember that. If not seen, we'll put a little alert on this as well. Put a little alert on that. What was the next one? Brett Phantom. Okay, cool. Yeah, long to short, still 40% short. See it? Just, come on. It's good, man. Love it. ENF getting a bit. Nice. We have a supply zone immediately above. What, on Bitcoin? Yeah, but I'm not really that worried about it. If people keep shorting, like, unless, if the long to short ratio goes to 50-50 in the next day, then okay, I'll look for a short. But for me right now, I'm only going to short on the lower time frames, or if I see like a 4 hour close below structure and then a bearish retest. Other than that, ban your red button for now, just until you see something significant, because then you're just gonna get wicked out or something. Brett and Phantom. Okay, cool. Let's do these really quickly. Well, not really quickly, but Really nice retest of this high here. Actually, perfect retest on that daily candle. Really big wick to the downside. You think it's breaking down, then the daily closes above, and then bang, straight up. Um, yeah, this looks good. This looks good, and the reason why it looks good, if we take off all those levels, because sometimes it's a bit hard to see. We've got a little hip here, a little like I like to call it a little nub, which we're currently bullishly backtesting, and we closed the last daily out above it. So this potentially could have some more legs to go if it holds that. It's on the edge though. If you close below sort of like here, 817, it could potentially start rolling over. I actually quite like that. It's not bad. It's a little bit more high risk though. Not bad though. That's actually semi-decent. Let's look at... No, it's not FTM anymore. Sonic. Yeah, this is this looks like it wants to pull back. Got a daily swing day. Yeah, closes 4 hour below that, and it's gonna pull back. How far is the question? Has actually closed above this swing, so potentially, if we were to come back down into something like there, would make for a good long. That would be the most safe area to long, this area, because it would have done a really nice healthy one. Yeah, I like that actually, and that's also the previous weekly. Set alert at 2-7 ish. It could also hold March, May. This little thing here. Come back down, either hold here or just go a little bit lower, a little bit deeper into there. Sonic is S. What's this? Oh, it's probably a meme coin, isn't it? That's not the right one. Let me just do Phantom, right? No. Oh no, that is the right one. Oh, okay. This is the right one. Sonic USDT. No. Fucking, why have they done this, bro? Yeah, that is the wrong one. Let's just look at this one. But this is... No, this isn't right. This isn't right. No, that's Sony. Oh, okay. FTM. Here we go. Sorry. Jesus Christ. This is the right one. There we go, there we go, there we go. There we go. Got there in the end. So, potentially looks like some nice accumulation around here. Obviously, he hasn't broken out yet. I've got the level on here. It's actually more like... Ouch. What was that? Sibby. Yeah, need to break above there. but it has hidden bull div on the daily. Nice big wick to the downside. Retested all of that. You kind of want to see. I wouldn't like to long this here like that, and then a bullish retest of that. It's just not good etiquette to long right here. But the chart potentially looks very good. Let's just have a look at that Sui alert real quick. Yeah, look, we're coming down. Is that 15-minute gonna break? Should we go for a little stab at a long? Let's put the stop at about 4113, and we can average in from basically 4137 down to the yearly open. I can't open my exchange though. It's gonna overload my laptop. Maybe I can do it on my phone. This is just a scout, by the way, so potentially only like 2.5% bounce. I'm happy to try and take a nice little long on stream with you guys. This is what we used to do when I first started streaming nearly about a year ago now for MDX Algo. I didn't really know what to do or what to talk about because I was like the other boys are going to talk about swings and stuff like that and longer time frames, and I wasn't even that confident back then. So I literally just sat on the 3 minute on Popcat and we were like just scalping out with the combination bands. It was pretty fun, but then the market just went to shit. So what we want to see per the Jack the Ripper strategy is one candle down into here that closes above there but wicks down into there, and that's where you get your fills. So you basically just ladder in down to the yearly open with your largest orders at the bottom and your smallest orders at the top. So you like a ladder further in the further down you get, and then because it helps control risk a bit more, and then hopefully you get filled, and then yeah, you got a really nice little thing. And then the confirmation is green dot on the oscillator. So we don't actually have confirmation yet, but main ones will be like 412 to 413 basically. That's where you want to ladder your main ones in. I'll go back to what were we on before? I'll go back to it in a second. Sweet. I tried to long this earlier actually. So limit 412. Did that go through? No, it didn't. I hate trading on the phone. Is anyone a phone trader? I know Zeus is a phone trader. Bloody phone traders. Guess it's not that bad, but 4125. I'm just laddering in, and then you can put your stops on after. It's already kind of bouncing, but don't chase it. I mean, you can if you want, but I don't really do. I never usually do that. I like to get the wick fill, the perfect. Maybe I'm a bit of a perfectionist. Right, now I go to open orders, and I make sure that all my stops are in. We can put it at like we'll just put it at like 411. No. Let's actually go on the 1 minute. You can put it at like 411 or something. Edit stop loss 4.11. Is that 0.5%? I'm happy with that. Okay. Cool. So my orders are like 1. Sorry, this is not financial advice, by the way, because this is going this is going on YouTube after. Not financial advice. I'm only doing what I'm doing. Okay, I just have to say that because I'm gonna get fucking copyrighted. I'm gonna get striked. Most of my orders are like 1413 ish, down to the yearly open 412. Let's see how it goes. And then TPs will be like 418, 42, 422. That sort of vibe, just on the way up. NFA. Right, cool. Could potentially go back to what we were doing. Although maybe we should watch this for a sec. Actually, let's delete that. Right, what were we on? Theta and OP. Yes. What was I looking at just before I changed over to the alert? Quickly, was it Phantom? Yeah. Thank you for putting the chart of the time frame as well. Oh, I can just go back. Here we go. Yeah, so like I was saying, ew, damn, what is that wick? Uh, you want to see a break at this level? It also actually really perfectly comes into that 1 hour swing. Currently bullishly retested daily weekly open. Q3 untested, potentially an area that you could even long, but like I said, you're at resistance. You want to break out. You're obviously at overlapping supply. Uh, you want to see a break and then a bullish retest of 605 ish. And if not, if you start breaking down from daily weekly open, you're gonna go and test in here, and that'll be a really beautiful area to long. This one here, in between like 505 and like 48. Going back to 505. Right, last two, Theta and OP. Damn, I haven't heard about Theta in ages. Right, this is double topping on the 4 hour with a lower high as of right now. We have broken out on the daily. No, have we? It's not confirmed yet. So, daily breakout not confirmed until this daily candle closes. Looks quite good though. Hit the swing high here. Just take that off though to make it simpler. 4 hour, yeah, it's just like it's looking okay. I think that you could, yeah, money flow is coming off as well. Taking that liquidity just on that wick. I mean, hold daily weekly open. I don't see why this can't go further. I wouldn't long it just here. There's a potential long from 101 to to just under $1 to like 99 that you could try. But yeah, like with anything, like these are just potential setups, and this is also, yeah, it's a 2% stop. It's not that bad. We're obviously at high time frame resistance, and you just be careful. That's also double topping. I mean, you want to see the hold. If not, you're gonna go and retest some levels lower. Like, there's so many levels to test lower. Like here, even here for one. Like, if you get that close below, you can short this, and then get that, and that would be super healthy and bullish, by the way. So, I really can't tell you much at the moment because on all these coins are above the daily weekly open, so it's still up, but the 4 hours starting to look a little bit toasted. The daily's obviously overextended on the oscillator. It's at high time frame resistance. You can't short it yet, but you also don't particularly want to long it that much at high time frame resistance. So just a bit of patience. Just see if the 4 hour starts holding daily weekly open. Uh, See what Bitcoin dominance does this week. And if Bitcoin just starts going sideways, then yeah, you can start longing some alts. Better to trade on something like 3x, so if you make a mistake, it's not really gonna fucking ruin you. OP, again, quite similar. Still actually hasn't broken out, so this one's still lagging behind, which also kind of interests me a little bit. Maybe it's more like that. Anyway, both of them there. That's what you want to see a break. It's also overlapping resistance. This is potentially something that might look more interesting to maybe hedge short on, especially if you're already long on altcoins and you want to get a hedge on the other way. We've also done the wick into resistance, so this wick is like the liquidity grab. Would have liked to see it go slightly higher into here, but obviously it's not perfect. All this needs to do now for you to short this is close underneath there. Literally just close. Oh, fucking, come on. Literally just close a candle there underneath that. It will nullify this demand zone, and then you can short anywhere in here. Bang. Likely, if it does that, the altcoin market might start rolling over. So just watch out. And conversely, to the other side, you could hold the weekly open, get a break above there, and then you can just long this. Or you can pull a Stuba from the new high that it does, if it makes a new high from that, and then long that. Again, patience. What's happening with the Sui thing? Yeah, so it might have got wicked. I might even tighten the stop loss a bit more to 115 for 115. But yeah, it's likely that we got wicked. We do have hidden bullish and the green dot on the 3 minute, which is quite nice. So yeah, the main TP is going to be at 4.2, and then again at in between, like just in this area here. But yeah, holding for now. Looks pretty decent. Just phone trading the shit out of this. Did I get hit? Yeah, I got hit on. I got hit on a bit. I got hit on a bit of mine. It's exactly what I wanted to see. Nice little big wick. It's looking good though. It's looking good. Thanks, man. No worries, brother. Again, I know I keep saying this after every stream as well, that I'll try to do like a write-up of the more interesting things that I look at. The reason why I haven't done it in the past is because, one, I want people to actually watch my stream, and two, I would like to keep the pro signals more streamlined than altcoin spam. I know people have asked for an altcoin channel, so maybe that's something that, I mean, we've asked Max, but he's, yeah, I don't know if he wants to do that. And also, like, I would rather just keep that to the actual pros. Like, I would call myself an intermediate trader, not a pro trader. Like, I'm intermediate. Like, I have decent experience, but I'm not like I feel like the pro level is people that have been trading like, a lot, and they've been very profitable. I'm just like a decent trader. No one is using it though. Using what? The pro signals. Yeah, I mean everyone's bro. You gotta understand that pro signals is barren. Yeah, it is barren. It's I mean Smallio is obviously very busy. Max is Max. Stu posts sometimes, and then Kieran. I'm not sure where Kieran's gone. Actually, uh, yeah, Stu does. Stu does. I'm happy to post. I'll get Zeus to post. But he usually posts in Bitcoin. Uh, yeah. It's just there's a lot of pressure in pro signals. Like, I don't want to post shit and then people like put loads of money on it and then it goes south. Like, just a lot of pressure. It's like what Smallio said. Like, Smallio's been trading 8 years, bro. He's so experienced. Um, that if a trade of his doesn't work out, it's just like the one time, like the 20% of the time where the setup was right, but it doesn't work. But he was like talking to me. We were talking another thing, and like a load of people obviously bought a heavy amount of tier, which I was talking about earlier, and it obviously went really badly because we all thought we were gonna get the alt season. And I also said for people to buy altcoins as well, which are probably super down, but it's just the way, it's just the nature of the market. Um, if people were on too much leverage or maybe they capitulate the bottom, then they're obviously not very happy right now. I'm in profit on my trade, so, but that's obviously through experience and holding. I've held trades for a year on like two x lev. You know what I mean? Like 1.5x lev. I think you should be more comfortable posting your mate. Just mention some setups you liked on stream. No one will be able to follow his tier trade. Yeah, exactly. People should not be in this game if they don't understand the risk. Yeah, I mean that's true. Like at the end of the day, you're making your own decision to make the trade. I nearly lost my whole portfolio last Christmas. Totally my fault. Yeah, I mean, like, bro, we all made mistakes. I literally made a mistake the other day. I was about to get on a flight and I wanted to short Popcat. And then on Blowfin, yeah, oi, if you're using Blowfin, yeah, so on Femex, if I have multiple orders on one coin, I can set one stop loss and it will be for the whole trade if it hits the multiple orders. On Blowfin, it's completely different. You set the stop loss for each order. So I had about 10 orders. I only set a stop loss on one. So I only got stopped out on 10% of my trade and the rest got licked. So annoying. So annoying. Is that the Shibuya technique? Alright, let's stop my recording. Stop the stream.